Dan, ask me that question again.
What's your next video idea, John?
You are my next video idea, Dan. Here we are. Let's call it Firestop Spotlight. Better yet, let's call it Friday Fun with my Firestop friends.
I like it.
You ready to go?
I like it.
All right. First question, Dan. At what age, and I'm looking for a number, did you know that you were going into the Firestop business? Was it when you were like a little kid, when everyone's like, I want to be a policeman, I want to be a fireman, and little Danny boy was like, I want to be a fire stopper? Or was it kind of like me where you just kind of found yourself late in life? My number's 37, by the way, but we're looking for a number followed by a little context. Go ahead.
Well, it wasn't a Tiger Woods situation by any means. I wasn't starting at 3 years old, but I think I got into the industry about around 25 years old. I was in an unrelated industry. I worked for a hospital actually, and I owe a lot of where I am right now to a guy named Don Donnelly. He pulled me out of a hospital, totally unrelated. He believed in me. I kind of sold myself a little bit, probably oversold myself a little bit, and he liked what he heard, and he took a shot on me. And I think a lot of people's success, they have to attribute it to a guy giving them a shot, and that's my guy. So
yeah, Don Donnelly, great guy. So what was the name of his company again?
He's a project executive at Haley Insulation. They're in New York City. They're one of the largest local 12 insulation companies in the city, and do great work, have a great reputation. And I was really proud to work there.
Great. So you did a lot of insulation work, fire stopping also, obviously.
Yep. So I got my feet wet with the insulation side of the business, more so involved with the fire stop from day one. So all facets of fire stop. Took the lead of that side of the business, everything from estimating, project management, contract negotiation, you name it. That was me. So a little bit of public relations, a little bit of sales, a little marketing, everything you could imagine. So
I remember
invaluable experience.
You were one of my favorite customers to call on back in the day. And I'm so glad that we were able to get you over on our team. What's your favorite thing about working at STI these days?
The reason why this has been working out for me so well is that I've always had that ownership mentality. That it's one of our pillars that I didn't even know about until I was working here for a couple of years. But I've always had that ownership mentality. Is that wherever I work, I treat it as if it's my own company, and that if you do that, you're going to succeed no matter where you are. So I'd say ownership mentality is number one. Culture is number two. I knew about the culture of STI long before I joined. Through yourself and Dave Jello, guys call on me all the time, and I really like the culture that you guys build in New York City. So I knew that one day that that culture is and the ownership mentality aspect is where I aligned myself with. So I saw that working out for me pretty well.
No doubt, I feel similarly, and especially that team aspect of it, that culture. David Jello, Scott Greenwald, Mark Isa, Mike Pergola, even the guys that, our rep firms, LaSalle and Metro, all those guys, I always loved working with them.
Top to bottom, man. I got to say that the culture here is
definitely all those people helped create that culture. Real quick, jumping back to the insulation part of it. I know that we were just on this call and I kind of shocked you into saying, hey, you're our next video here. So I do appreciate you taking the time, but what are we working on right now? Tell everybody what we're working on.
Well, so what we're really working on, before you sidetrack me here, is we got a national webinar coming up that's focused all around EWrap, which is a product that's really near and dear to my heart. We only launched this product a couple of years ago, but it's gained insane traction in just a short amount of time. The market's responded to it well. It's an endothermic mat material that's used for the shaft enclosure, protection of fuel oil line and circuitry, and among other things. And we're working on a national webinar right now that's going to be seen, around the country. And I think it's going to be pretty good. I think people are going to really like it.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. I mean, I know you've had quite a few notable projects in New York City that you're going to feature on there. So definitely looking forward to that. Let me ask you, how has the process been in developing that webinar? Putting it together? I know we're about 3 weeks into it, but just tell me about the process.
Well, the process it's difficult if you're doing it alone. I mean, I found that being a guy that's always been very comfortable working alone, when you have people to lean on, it's so much easier to get the job done. So I asked you for help. You're willing to drop everything and just give me some really invaluable advice on the flow and the wording and the layout, a lot of this presentation and how it should go. having another set of eyes is invaluable to the process, man. I can't thank enough for that. But, it's been great. I mean, it's a labor of love for me. I love everything about the product. I love working with it. So doing stuff like this, I don't consider it work. It's what I love. So
That's right. I think somebody said when you love what you do, you don't have to work a day in your life, right?
right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, working on this thing on a Saturday afternoon or whatever it might be to me, it's second nature. It's not something, not something I complain about, let's put it that way.
Well, Dan, thanks for letting me put you on the spot. The Firestop Spotlight. I think that's what we'll call it. Although Friday fun with my Firestop friends has a little ring to it. But thanks again, Dan. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend, man.
You too, John. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Take care.